The federal government's Technology Modernization Fund has announced 3 new investments, bringing the fund to a portfolio of 32 investments totaling over $500 million. Raylene Yung is the fund's executive director at the General Services Administration. Raylene, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So what's your specific role as the fund's executive director?
Yes, so as executive director, I oversee the Technology Modernization Fund's Program Management Office here at GSA. What our staff does is really facilitate and support the entire fund's end-to-end operations. So we do everything from working with agencies to help encourage them and understand how the TMF works in order to support their proposals. We work very closely with the TMF board to kind of evaluate and examine these proposals through multiple stages before they're ultimately selected for investment by the board. Once investments are active, we spend a lot of time partnering with agencies and really working side by side to ensure that all these projects are as successful as possible and have the greatest impact on the American public.
Well, remind us how the TMF works and the process for a project to get funding.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty straightforward process in a lot of ways. So to start, an agency can submit either a lightweight expression of interest or attend an office hours or kind of have a conversation with a member of my team. But from there, they submit a formal application, which we call an initial project proposal. And it's a written document that lays out what they hope to achieve in their technology modernization project, how they're going to do it, what cost savings or what impact to the public might be realized through this project. And that proposal gets evaluated and summarized and voted on by the TMF board. All of that then happens again in a second phase, which is far more detailed and goes much more into specifics around how the investment might be spent, what happens quarter by quarter, and that again gets voted on by the TMF board, at which point we notify the Hill, we prepare some communications, and the investment goes live.
And Raylene, how are these projects actually assessed in terms of whether or not they're actually improving the taxpayer experience or saving money?
It's a great question. So we take what we call an iterative approach for investment management. So one huge principle of the TMF is rather than think of a technology investment project as something where you invest a lot of money up front and you wait a few years and try to see what happens at the end, we are thinking about things in a very kind of incremental and iterative way. That means that every month or quarter, someone from the TMF is checking in with the project team and asking questions and looking at results. So that means every quarter we can tell, how is this trending? Is the project on time? Are we realizing cost savings? Are we improving the experience for users? And if anything is maybe not going the way we want it to, that gives us ample opportunity to help projects course correct and to provide agencies with more support.
Well, let's talk about one of the new projects, and one is for the Housing and Urban Development Project. How much money is being set aside for that, and how will it be used?
Yeah, so this is as you mentioned, one of our newest investments. So it's a $14.8 million investment that's going to allow HUD to replace costly legacy systems and move them to the cloud. And the idea is that they would integrate one of their kind of internal systems that is it's called the Federal Housing Administration Connection System that allows people to kind of log in and connect with different services. They're going to integrate certain parts of that with new modern services around login and authentication. So this investment intends to improve the customer experience for users by creating more seamless self-registration capabilities for end users, for organizations, and for application administrators for HUD. So that's basically the intention. The idea is to improve the user experience for potentially over 95,000 external federal housing administration users, and to kind of upgrade the IT posture with new federal identity management and ICAM requirements.
And just very briefly, I know you provide expertise and support to agencies. How is that different from the support they get from contractors?
Yeah. So I think I would look at a couple different reasons, couple different ways. So something that's very unique about the Technology Modernization Fund is, as you mentioned in the beginning, we have a portfolio of actually over $600 million now in 32 investments and 17 federal agencies. So that gives us, I think, a uniquely broad view of what's happening across the federal enterprise. So rather than just looking at an agency's one project, we benefit from working with many different agencies, sometimes tackling similar problems at the same time. So we can kind of provide that, supercharge of additional resources and knowledge that we benefit from, learning from, our members of our board.
All right, Raylene, and that's all the time we've got. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future Government Matters interviews.